the second part, what I want to discuss here, even the material world, the so-called progress of culture, things are becoming more and more liberal. Let's say liberal, or maybe too liberal, and too open, too liberal, too free, and no restrictions, no rules, regulations. It's almost tending towards animal life in the name of civilization. But even in spiritual circles, seeing the situation with the people, then the Lord Himself has arranged for the spiritual practices to become a little more liberal, a little more easy. Because if you look at the way Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati preached, and you look at the way Prabhupada preached, and there's a tradition of liberality. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he insisted on 64 rounds a day. So that's the principle. There's detail and principle. The principle is Nam Sankirtan, Kirtaniya Sadahari, that we should chant the holy name to attain perfection. The detail is how much do you chant? Well, Krishna says always, Sadahari, Kirtaniya Sadahari, always chant, never stop. Well, that's a little hard because I do have to sleep. And so then we'll chant as much as you can. So Prabhupada, he made it easier because he said, okay, my guru said 64 rounds, I'll say 16. And of course, in the beginning, you can read in our other chanting book, Mukunda, he's sannyasi, Mukunda Swami, he was saying in the early days, Prabhupada first asked everyone to chant 64 rounds. And then he didn't see anybody after that. And then he said, where's so-and-so, where's so-and-so? Oh, he's here and there. And then about 11, 12, everyone disappeared and went to chant their 64 rounds in the closet, in the car, in whatever, hideout somewhere. And that was early in the morning. Then they came back and met Prabhupada around 11 o'clock at night. And said, Prabhupada, we only got 25 rounds done. We had 31 rounds done. He said, Acha? So, okay, maybe we have to reduce it a little bit. So, because sometimes there's a statement that was made by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in relation to hearing about Radha and Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. And these statements sometimes come into our society of devotees, and they hear them from different quarters, and they're presented in different ways. And he made a statement. He said, first anartha nivriti, then artha pravritti. Anartha, art means value, something of value, something is useful or valuable or worthy is art. And anart means against, is useless. Something is useless or not valuable or unworthy is anartha. So he said, first anartha nivriti, this definition, it says, he's saying we should become free from all misconceptions, and we should become free from all misconceptions and doubts and material desires. That means nivriti. Nivriti means like finished or renounced, or hogya, khatam hogya. First anartha nivriti, then artha pravritti. Pravritti means to accept. First we have to remove the disease from our body, then we can accept the healthy condition. That's what he's saying, like an analogy. Whereas if you're full of disease, you go to the doctor, well, I want to be healthy, just make me healthy. Well, okay, we'll make you healthy, but first we have to take out the disease. You have this ulcer, you have this tumor, so we take all that out, and then by nature's own arrangement, by God's arrangement, your body will restore to health. Well, I'll give you health, but I have to remove the disease. So he was saying first anartha nivriti, then artha pravritti. So then some people take this quotation, they say, yes, this means that we have to become free from all anarthas before we can hear about Radha and Krishna. We can't read the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. We can't read the Krishna book. We can't read Antya Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita. We can't read any books about Radha and Krishna's pastimes until we're free from anartha nivriti. Sometimes people preach like this. But we're going to hear that actually anartha nivriti is an ongoing situation. It doesn't end in one day. Sometimes many devotees have the misconception, or the wrong idea, that after anartha nivriti comes nishta. Nishta means steadiness. You're steady in bhakti. It's not like sometimes chanting, sometimes not, sometimes mangalarti. You're steady because the mode of tamagun, ignorance and passion have been cleansed and purified from your mind and heart. And so you can be steady in the practice like yoga. Getting up every day early, going to mangalarti, chanting rounds in a steady way because the consciousness is pure. and you come to the sattvic platform, which is symptomized by steadiness. This is a very interesting thing when we study Madhurya Kadambini. So we have this misconception. When we come to Nishtha, there's anartha nivritti, then there's Nishta, then there's Ruchi, or taste in bhakti, and then there's Bhav and Prem. So people think, oh, and I get free from anartha nivritti, then I come to Ruchi, which means taste for Harikatha, taste for chanting. And then once I'm free from anartha nivritti, then I can read about Radha and Krishna. But it's quite the opposite. It's actually quite the opposite. And if you read a Madhurya Kadambini, it's explaining that anartha nivritti is not finished in one day. Anartha nivritti goes all the way. It goes on in the background, first in a gross way in the beginning of bhajan, in the beginning of our sadhana bhajan. It's a very prominent thing. We're full of anarthas everywhere with this. Then we come to Nishtha, it's less prominent. And we come to Ruchi, it's even less prominent. Then we come to Rati, attachment, or Sakti. Then Bhava, and then Prem. This anartha nivritti continues all the way up to Prema. So this is a great misconception. People say, oh, first you will get free from all your anarthas. You chant Hare Krishna, you just continually chant Hare Krishna mantra till your heart becomes pure. When all the greed and anger and lust and envy is out of your heart, then you can read about Radha and Krishna. People preach like this, you must have heard. But I want everyone to have a very clear idea what is actually the philosophical position. And we'll hear quotations from Srila Prabhupada and other places. Of course, I'll give you present the whole picture, but first we're explaining like this, and I'll read the notes I have from Madhurya Kadambini, which anyone can read in Hindi or in English. It's also in Hindi or Bengali. And you can see very clearly how this works. And then he even explains how the anarthas, to what percentage they're eliminated at different levels, even percentages. And he has like there's 5 different stages in the elimination of anarthas. One is I think Antyantiki, then Paritaki, and then one is called Purna. I have it in my notes, I'll read it. You can take notes. It's very, very scientific analysis. So therefore, in other words, what Vishwanath is saying, yes, you have to wait till you attain Prema, then you can read about Radha and Krishna. Because at the level of Prema, and not at just the beginning of Prema, but at Prema, when you have darshan of Krishna, and your individual personal relationship is established with Krishna, then there's no chance for any more anarthas. At that level. So that means, well, why did Prabhupada print the Krishna book or Antya-lila or anything? Who's it for? It's only for the siddhas. Those that have prema, they're already fixed in their sarup, and they're already siddhas. It's for them. It's not like that. So, at least on this day, because this is a day to hear some instructions from Guru and Parampara, valuable instructions which will shape our bhajan. So these, because we hear so many. Everyone's a teacher. Everywhere you go, someone has something to say. Oh, are you initiated? No, I'm initiated. It's like this. Oh, it's like this. But it's just like we have this phrase: Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Hoy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. When you examine the Shastras, many times it says Sadhu Sangha. Well, Jiva Goswami is saying that when it says Sadhu, it actually means Guru Sangha. Guru, the word if you have Guru, because there's so many sadhus everywhere. But when it's saying, it says a moment association with your Guru, your Shiksha Guru or your Diksha Guru, your Sadguru. A moment's association, Lava Matra. Lava Matra means a moment. Sadhu Sangha, what is it? Lava Matra. Sarva Siddhi Hoy. All perfection can come. Perfection in sadhana, perfection in bhakti, perfection in life, perfection in human life. All comes from Guru, Sangha, associating with the Guru. Because that's what it actually means. Sadhu means, whenever you see sadhu, like it says, Satam Prasangam Mamavirya Samvado, that hearing the topics of Krishna and association with devotees is like nectar for the ears. Actually means hearing the topics of Krishna from Guru is like nectar for the ears. Satam Prasangam Mamavirya Samvido. This is verse. And then it says that one should associate. It says like we should associate with devotees. And when it says associate with devotees, what the acharyas say, you should associate with devotees. It says Sajatiya Snigdha in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Snigdha means they're affectionate, and Sajati means the same family. So on one level, Sajati means I'm a Gaudiya Vaishnav, and I'm pursuing the ideals of Gaudiya Vaishnav, Braj Bhakti, either in Madhurya Bhav or Sakya Bhav, generally. These are the 2 bhavs that are available. And even more specifically, Madhurya Bhav or Gopi Bhav, Mandri Bhav. I'm interested in this. I'm looking for this. Or I'm curious about this. So that's Sajati means we have the same Siddhanta, we have the same goal and the same Prayojan and the same Abhideya. But now further explanation of Sajati. Sajati means Jati means family. Jati Gosai. They say Jati Gosai. A further explanation of Jati means my god sisters and my god brothers. So the principle of sangha, of association with devotees, means associate with your god brothers and your god sisters, and in that association you'll develop your bhakti, because it is snigdha, it is affectionate, because you have the same father, or at least it should be affectionate, and it's sajati, because you're all Gaudiya Vaishnavas and you have the same guru. Otherwise, what happens? Generally, especially in Kali Yuga, more and more it happens, if disciples of different gurus come together, one disciple say, "Oh, my guru said this," and the other disciples say, "Well, my guru said this." And because Kali is dancing everywhere, Kali is dancing in every atom. Vishnu, Paramatma is there, and Kali is also there. Kali has entered every atom. Vishnu, Shirdaksha Antaryami, he's entered every atom of creation. But in Kali Yuga, Kali personified, he's also entered every atom to join him, to do his dance of destruction, dance of division, dance of conflict, dance of argument, dance of fighting. Conflict, dividing, fighting and division. So there's couple of devotees come together. "Oh, come to my house, we're having satsang. All the devotees getting together. We're going to read Gita, have kirtan, have prasad." Okay, very nice. So 5-6 ladies, they go to one Grihastha lady's house. And there's 3 or 4 different gurus. So they read a little bit of Bhagavad Gita, then they start discussing, "So what is your practice?" "Oh, my guru says this." Then within 20 minutes, there's a huge fight. All 5 ladies are fighting. "Oh, my guru said, oh, but hey, well, forget it. I don't want any prasad. I'm never coming here again." Then Kali is smiling. All right. Kali is dancing. He's dancing. "Oh, look how I divided. I made big fight here." So therefore, the benevolent acharyas, the guardians of devotion, they advise, this is what it means, sadhu sangha. Either find genuine sadhu, which is very rare, or who is equal vision, or you associate with, especially sadhu sangha means associating with god brothers and god sisters, because birds of a feather flock together. The same mood, the same guru. It's very, very good for bhakti. Very, very good. Because the center, the water for the tree of bhakti is guru seva. A tree requires water. No water, what happens to the tree? It dries up and dies. And no fruits, no leaves, no branches. So the water for the tree of bhakti is guru seva. So when you associate with god brothers and god sisters and discuss guru and his teachings and say, "Oh, he said we should get up at 4 o'clock in the morning." Start chanting. "What time do you get up?" "Oh, I'm not getting up till 6:30. "Don't tell Guruji." "Oh, yeah. What about you?" "I'm getting up at 7. Acha. And then one devotee, "What about?" "Well, in winter it's been a little hard, but it's like 5:30. But in the summer I'm getting up at 4. And like this, it's not a fault. We're all, to err is human. So together, come on. We should try to strive to carry out all these orders. It's important. As you get strength in numbers. So this is a very important principle.